Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. This time we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Halo Jumper by Hasbro. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Alright, so today we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Halo Jumper. First, let's take a look at the packaging. Really like the window display box. I love the design of the packaging for the 60th anniversary figures. I think they went above and beyond with that. You've got the 60th anniversary logo in the lower left, Classified Series banner at the bottom. On the right, you've got some artwork of the character. And of course, you see the figure with all of the accessories laid out in the insert tray. On this side panel, you've got that same artwork of the character in the inset along with a QR code, and then down at the bottom you've got an obligatory product shot of the figure with the parachute deployed. On this side panel, you've got the full color artwork of the character. On the back panel, you can see more obligatory product shots of the action figure in a pose with the javelin rig on. In the inset, you can see his helmet with his comms gear as well as his altimeter on his left wrist. Alright, so here we have the Halo Jumper outside of the packaging. So let's bring him in close so you guys can see the attention to detail on that head sculpt. He's got grease paint on his face and in his hair. US flag patch on the left shoulder. I really like that. You can see the altimeter down here. Got a Halo patch on his right shoulder, which is kind of goofy. And you can see that the vest as well as his harness is molded together. So when they assembled this figure at the factory, this would have gone on and they would have snapped his legs and arms on. And that's disappointing because that means you can't snap this off if you want to take it off. Not without taking the action figure apart. Got a drop thigh holster on his right leg for the sidearm, molded boots. Head is on a ball joint, neck's on a ball joint, full range of motion there. Forward and lateral movement at the shoulders. Nice tight joints there, bicep rotation. He does have a butterfly joint. You guys can see that there. The range of motion is inhibited by the vest. Upper arm rotation. Double hinged elbow, wrist rotation, and wrist pivot. Lower torso is on a ball joint, and best I can tell, the upper torso is on a hinge. Forward and lateral movement to thigh, drop down thigh joint, thigh rotation. Double jointed knees, really tight joints on the knee joints there. You guys can see that, almost to the point of stressing them. The ankles will roll, pivot, and swivel. So that's really cool. Like the articulation, like the M81 Woodland combat pants and shirt, and the hard knuckle gloves, and an OD green. I do not care for this vest and harness because if you decide to take it off, if you were to cut this with like a hobby knife, that's it. The only replacement you would have is something like the Gridiron Props Halo kit. All right, so let's talk about accessories. First and foremost, he does include a display base. And this is something that the Classified Series line should have come equipped with from day one, and they didn't. And it's been one of the major complaints with collectors and fans, is that they did not have a display base for these figures. Next, I want to talk about the goggles. He's got two pair. He's got this pair with the silver lens. It's painted on the front. And then you've got this pair with the cover over them. Next, I want to talk about his helmet because he comes with two. The first is the Mitch helmet, and you can see that it's got the attached headset like the Peltors for his radio, arc rails on the side, Wilcox mount on the front. The second helmet is a flight helmet, and it's got a drop down face shield. Got a light attached here going to a battery box. That's really cool. They did a good job with that. I do like this one. Also included are the dual O2 bottles and the face mask to attach to that flight helmet. That's pretty accurate to what a real world O2 setup looks like. Next is the Javelin rig. So if you open your flap, this would be where your chutes would go in here. And you would have two, your primary as well as your reserve. This looks pretty accurate, not entirely. Next, I want to talk about chute itself, and we'll take a better look at this once I kit him out. This is not the type of parachute that you would find in this Javelin rig. For halo jumps, they use what is essentially a modified sport parachute. And this is a round chute like you would see on a reserve, and the diameter is woefully too small. So this is a huge failure on Hasbro's part if they intended for this to be a halo jumper. Next, let's talk about the weapons. He does include a fixed blade combat knife done in the same molded green, which is disappointing. Those of you that like to customize your action figures and accessories, here's a good opportunity to repaint something in this box. Next, let's talk about the sidearm. It's not molded after any real world weapon due to licensing. Looks like a cross between an M&P and a Glock. Next, let's talk about the first of three rifles. You have this guy, which is a 7.62 rifle. Seems to be based loosely on a SCAR. It's got a detachable 20-round box magazine. Magazine does have molded feed lips on it. But you wouldn't carry or use anything like this without a stock on it. Next, we got the same rifle with a skeletonized stock grenade launcher, molded ACOG on it. Last of all, you got this rifle, which is the same rifle. It's got a skeletonized stock with a cheek riser, magnified optic, angled foregrip on it. I like this one much better. Magazine on all of these is detachable. A suppressor is included, so you can take that if you want to put it on the DMR. Have a suppressed rifle. And last but not least, you got a pair of quad nods, and I presume they plug right into the shroud on the helmet, like so. Alright, so here we have our G.I. Joe Classified Series Halo Jumper all kitted out. He's got his Javelin rig on. And the turds at Hasbro didn't care about authenticity because they didn't include any weapon straps, so I just quickly threw together a couple rubber bands to show you how your long gun would be carried on this rig. You would have it strapped to your side like this. It would be like that, strapped close to your body over on this side, over out of the way, because on this side you've got your lollipop that you would pull to activate your main chute, and then your cutaway over here on this side to cut the main away and pull the reserve in case you needed to pull it. Other thing I'll point out is that the ports on the bottom of his boots are too small for the pegs on the display base. So you could try heating them with hot water or a hair dryer, and then quickly putting his boots in there so that he'll stand on the display base, which is what I think they intended for him to do, but he doesn't do very well. So yeah, that's how he would look kitted out. And I've got the chute attached to the canister, and you open up flat and you can see it plugs in right there. And here's this chute. So if you wanted to pull it out. Like so. And I wouldn't recommend throwing this dude up in the air to see if he's going to float down, because I just don't think that's going to happen with this small chute the way that it is. And then if you want to detach it so that you can display him with just the javelin pack on, you can do that as well. And who knows, maybe someone will come out with a third-party accurate parachute system for this guy. Overall, it's a nice action figure. I don't like the fact that you can't detach the vest and the harness so that you can play with him in a ground roll versus just being kitted up for a halo jump. So there you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Halo Jumper.